but why having that game without Wolverine seems kind of weird.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's really weird.
Yeah, Wolverine's been there since X-Men: Children of the Atom.
Exactly.
Right. All right. So we I don't mean to stop this because I feel like we're about to go somewhere real deep right now. But we are live, everybody. We are live on YouTube.
Oh,
so
what up?
So I'm gonna send the link to you guys so you guys can be able to check it out as well. There it is, right here. So you can be able to talk with everybody in the chat. So what this is, everybody, this is SEL0320 representing JVS, but this is not even just for JVS. This is for the Pod and Tube Journals. It's a Facebook group. It's a culmination of different YouTubers, podcasters, bloggers, reviewers, critics, gamers, and we just talk about everything from entertainment standpoint and bringing it full together with the discussions that we're going to output to you guys pretty soon and throughout the rest of the year and beyond that. But we wanted to kind of have like a meet and greet so you guys can get acclimated for who the group is. You can go down to the description bar below and check out the group. And on top of that, we're going to present some of the people that are going to be associated to these discussions that they can tell you guys what their podcast is, what their YouTube is, and anything else they're affiliated with. So who we got here? All right. Who wants to be first on deck?
Snap. Nobody.
Come on.
I don't anyone talk at one time now.
Well, it was my idea, so I think I should go first. How about that?
The big gold belt.
All right. So, yeah. I don't know why is my video showing? Okay, there we go.
You good?
All right, so name's Niger, basically. I go by the alias of 2 Chains on my channel, and basically I am one of the hosts of the Big Go Belt Wrestling podcast, which basically we cover all wrestling topics, but other things that correlate to it, so by all means, sports, movies, and other comic book stuff always makes its way into the conversation. But you can catch us on Twitter at BGB Group. We're on SoundCloud, where we have a weekly episode at Tuesdays 8 p.m. live via YouTube. And we're on iTunes and Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So to all my wrestling fans or anybody that, UFC or anything like that, welcome to come on the show and let's talk. And I'm located in the DMV area. For people that's not in the DMV area, that's the Maryland, DC, Virginia area. So make my way around the East Coast for events and stuff like that. So that's what my podcast is about. But obviously I wouldn't be on this channel if I wasn't a comic book nerd or part of the comic book nerd library, as we call it. So I guess you can say got a strong background in Marvel and DC. Also get into anime, currently watching Dragon Ball Super, watching Attack on Titan. I will forever be a Ronin Warriors fan. That is my favorite anime of all time. And
yeah,
I'm always with Sam at the movie screenings in this area. So you may have seen me on one of his reviews or debating with him on something. So that's that. So welcome.
Nice. Y'all definitely got to go check out everything he's got outputted. He's got a lot of stuff coming up really soon as well. Definitely gonna be doing a lot more collaborations too. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
Who's up next on deck?
I'm on deck. I volunteer as tribute on deck. Anyway.
This man said he volunteers as tribute. Oh my god.
All right. Anyway, what's up, guys? I'm Blackwing 2040. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and of course my YouTube channel, Blackwing 2040. Pretty much on my channel, I do voice acting videos. I do verses. I've been a comic book fan, you could say, pretty much all my life, ever since since I was since a wee little tot, I guess I could say. I do comic book verses. I do movie reviews, comic book reviews, comic book live readings on my channel as well. Top 10s, of course. And pretty much the only podcast I'm a part of is called The Comic Crew. We don't really do much of anything currently because due to scheduling conflicts, everyone's busy doing something, so it's hard to do stuff. But we have a fair share of stuff on YouTube. You guys could check it out. just type. It may be hard to find, but just type in the Comic Crew, and hopefully you'll get something. But yeah, I'm just happy to be here and soon to be part of this advanced screening crowd, like Sam told me about.
I appreciate you, Blackwing. Blackwing, low key, man, he's been like, even when we were really low on the radar when it came to YouTube, he's been like an extreme follower. His channel has actually grown a lot, and I expect a lot of great things coming for his channel, low key, man. So thanks for coming, bro.
No problem.
So we got Mo and Drunk Anthony. I'm not gonna say Drunk Anthony. I'm just gonna say Anthony. Anthony, I'm gonna let you be on deck first, man, because I actually kind of did a low blow on that one. So what's up, Anthony?
What's going on? I'm Anthony. I sometimes speak on Three Black Geeks. I've been in the movies with Sam before. I'm often called the Drunk Geek. So if you ever want to sit and drink and talk about geek stuff and have me debate you and prove you're wrong, just let me know. So I also I'm starting a site where I can talk about geek stuff, and I started a YouTube channel called Drunk Geek. Based off the movie I saw with Sam, Wonder Woman. So yeah, it only has one video now because it's between drinking and posting, so sometimes it's hard.
That
for inviting me back in here.
Wow. Oh wow. All right, well, Anthony, I appreciate you for coming from. I was like, low key, I'm kind of thinking like you and Lucas need to kind of join up. Like we need to kind of have like a drunk and sober kind of riff on like old school movies. I think that low key, me and Lucas talked about that joint. Like somebody being like completely sober and somebody being completely out of it, and like let's just discuss.
And you just need somebody.
I'm definitely down. Oh my gosh!
There needs to be a moderator.
Last but not least. Yeah, it will. It will. And you're probably going to be that moderator, bro, because I feel like you'll be that perfect in between keeping everybody straight. But last but not least, we got my man Mo. What's good with you, man?
Nothing much, man. Just getting in. I just literally walked in and hit this before you guys got on, so I think I made it just in time. Mo Crosby from Earth 2 Comic Cast. I met Sam here, I think, Wonder Woman screening. But prior to that, we had our little YouTube channel. I say little because we literally just started a little YouTube channel, and we have a little podcast. Again, just started. It's run by myself and my boy Vito D Savage. Earth 2 Comic Cast is a comic book based comic YouTube channel. So we talk a lot of comics. We do a lot of top fives. Comics we like as movies. Comics we like comic book characters we like as shows. Book reports, which is just telling you about comics we've read, mostly complete storylines, or just something really interesting that happens in the comic book world. On the podcast, we talk news. We do a lot of movie news, movie reviews, comic book, stuff that happens in the comic book world during the week. So like when Marvel decided to start dropping the stuff about Marvel Legacy, we talk about it a lot on there. Whatever we know, we talk about. We share a lot. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Earth 2 Comic Cast, or individually Mo Crosby and Vito D Savage. Again, it's a little YouTube channel. Go search it, Earth 2 Comic Cast. We have some interesting things, and some things coming up in the pipeline. So hopefully we'll be able to cater to everyone.
Yeah, like Mo said, man, I met up with these guys for the Wonder Woman premiere, and it was actually really dope meeting them. He definitely acknowledged the channel. Appreciated him for having me and some other YouTubers on. There's a lot of discussion. He's got a lot of content coming out really soon. He also goes to all the different advanced screenings as much as his boy Vito. He's always consistent with what they're doing each week. So I really appreciate you for coming out, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
But so now that we've introduced everybody, what do we do now?
The Pantheon.
I guess we talk geek stuff, we talk movie stuff, we talk game stuff, talk comic stuff.
I mean,
or
comic stuff. I don't mind talking about comic.
We can go back because today I picked up Civil War again. I decided to go through it again, and I was thinking about it. Why? No, the original Civil War. You mean, what do you mean why? That is one of the most iconic comic books out there. Like, it's the best thing to ever come out of Marvel.
Oh, this is about to
Ever.
get interesting,
Oh,
right?
Here we go.
It's the best event.
Apocalypse, Onslaught.
There's this
come
thing
on.
called
T-War.
Nah.
Spider-Man taking that mask off and saying,
Maximum Carnage.
all right. But look, I'll tell you like this, because to me, it's one of the best things to come out of Marvel, because as Vito would tell you, Vito is the Marvel resident on the channel, right? I'll say it like this. I read most of the DC stuff. And when we do our comic book days, we split it to where, Vito picks the Marvel stuff, I pick the DC stuff. I've read pretty much a lot of what I read for Marvel are events. I don't go through and pick out, like the single issues, because
that makes sense.
I totally respect that.
Okay. So I'll say it like that. I don't pick out the single issues because they don't interest me like that. But for the events I've read, so I hardly even read the tie-in. So sometimes a tie-in might be better than the actual book. Ultimate event, that ultimate universe thing, and the best tie for me was Morales. I read the whole thing.
Okay. All right. So you said two things there.
Uh-oh.
All right. So the tie-in for this might not be the topic we talk about, but I have a lot of issues with Civil War. So the tie-ins for Civil War didn't even connect with Civil War. Like there was issues before Civil War started where Spider-Man was talking to the reasons why he wouldn't expose his identity.
Exactly.
And then he does it. So I didn't.
So many people caused so many issues, and then like 2 issues later, he's like, "Oh, I'm Spider-Man."
Thank you, because I didn't read that. If I read that, I'd have an issue with it.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is because if you're casually reading events, you don't have the depth of each individual characters. The tie-ins to those books should make you, when you read the event, the main storyline, you should be like, oh, I want to know more about Nightwing and Superboy, or oh, I want to know more about what's going on with Spider-Man. It didn't make any sense for Iron Man to palm Peter Parker through a wall because he said, I don't want to fight Captain America. It didn't make sense for Captain America. They said, hey, Captain America, like, hey, we want you to go arrest your friends. All he said was no.
And then
arrest my friends.
They try to kill his ass.
Yeah. Though it was some cool moments because when they said it had one of like the old senators was like, Steve Rogers escaped, took over the pilot, and then
landed the $2 billion plane. That's just Captain America. Like I was like, that's iconic because that is the most Captain America thing to do.
Yeah.
Everyone else would have trashed.
And the Punisher storyline where you figured out why he wouldn't hit Captain America, that was also a very good character development moment. But all together, they put the Punisher
doesn't that kind of work
to the Fantastic Four tower?
But doesn't that Punisher storyline? No, but that Punisher storyline kind of works with what's going on now in Secret Empire, with him being like up Captain America's ass.
I mean, there was just a lot of issues with Civil War for me. And what was it you mentioned before that? You mentioned something else. Another big event.
Secret Empire.
Nah, that's the only event. No.
Ultimate.
I didn't mention any event.
Nah, he just.
Oh yeah, the Ultimate event. I was referencing that's one of the ones that I read a tie-in and I really liked.
Is what you're telling me?
No. I didn't read the whole event. I read a tie-in from the event, which is the Morales story. The Morales tie-in to the event to me.
Stick with that. With that.
Okay, I'll say it like that.
My bad.
No, it's cool. I'm not trying to fight with nobody.
No.
See what I started.
But no, Anthony, that actually is a really good point because when I thought about what DC did with Rebirth, right? Mm-hmm. And from the very first comic, it was just like a straight up path that bridged off, but it still always connected. Whoa. Going into what they were trying to do with the button. By the time they got to Titans, where Wally was connected with the Titans at the same time, he was dealing with ramifications of what happened with him. And then same thing with Flash, same thing with Batman. There are real ramifications that bridge when these small events are happening. So like when the Lazarus contract happened, and that's what not even just the Lazarus contract, when the button happened, like it was all encapsulated. So even the small in-between stuff mattered. So I think that you raised the biggest point when you said that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like a main event should ripple through the comics, but everything shouldn't change. Like my problem with Civil War is that there were storylines going on, and then I feel like a Marvel executive during their summer retreat was like, "Yeah, we're doing this. So whatever storyline you have going on, conform it to this." And it didn't work. If you were reading those stories and you loved those stories that was going on, and then all of a sudden the character didn't mesh, and that was my problem with Ultimatum. Like if you look at Ultimate X-Men, right? Did anybody read those the Ultimate X-Men runs?
Yeah.
So the first few runs, there was a really interesting dynamic between Professor Xavier and Magneto. Like there was a point where there seemed to be like a secret plan between them. Like they almost like set it up where Magneto would be the terrorist and Xavier would be the savior. And like their whole thing was that S.H.I.E.L.D. would take them over so they would be inside the government. And then it was another point where Xavier was talking to Magneto in prison, and Magneto said something. He was like, "Are you forgetting we're being taped?" And he's like, "That's okay. I just erased it. I made the technicians erase it. Don't mess up again." And you're like, "Oh wow, that's like this conspiracy thing. That's a really cool plan." And then I think was Mark Waid writing that?
I mean, I could look it up.
Well, for
I'm saying, but whoever was writing that left, and then
Ultimate X-Men. Yeah, I think so.
Ultimate
I think it was
X-Men.
Mark Waid. Yeah.
And then
I think
Ultimate X-Men just turned into regular X-Men. Like even they would draw Wolverine like 5'3" again for no apparent reason at certain times.
I think that was Mark Miller who was working on that series.
Mark Miller. Okay, I apologize.
Well,
but my point is there was inconsistency, and I feel like that's my issue. When big Ultimatum events happen, they don't really fit in what we've known about the characters in those storylines. I can't call that main event a good event. It throws me off because I'm not a casual reader when it comes to those events. That's all I had to say.
Oh yeah, it was Mark Miller.
Yeah, Mark Miller started it.
It was Mark Miller. Yeah, and then it went to Chuck Austin, and then Jeff Johns wrote Jeff Johns wrote one, and Ben wrote some. Yeah. Brian
Ben just wrote like a couple of issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right.
Well, I talked enough, so I'll sit.
Nah, it's cool. Nah, but when it comes to the DC events, like Sam said, we have, let's just talk about what happened with Rebirth. That whole one shot. What I liked the most about Rebirth is it didn't go back and say, okay, so whatever happened in New 52 didn't happen. It didn't erase that. It continued that. So like for Batman, it literally picked up from number 52 to Rebirth, and then Batman Rebirth number 1. For who else? So that was Batman. Superman, the only thing that really changed was, they decided to actually change that whole thing. But then again, with the Reborn storyline, they fixed it. They merged for them to become, the new Superman moving forward.
I still find that crazy. That's the thing that's the one story that the ending of that story just threw me off. Like combined. I'm not saying it's bad. It's really, it's good. I'm just saying, fusing pre-52 Superman with new 52 Superman into just one Superman. I'm like, wait a minute.
That was ballsy. That was ballsy.
It was
very ballsy. And you know what?
Because
the best part about it is, go ahead.
No,
the best part about it.
Go ahead,
I think it's gonna culminate in what's it called? In the one that's coming in September, the one Jeff Johns is writing.
Doomsday Clock.
Yes, Doomsday Clock. So
now
all of that is gonna make sense.
I've always been a bigger Marvel fan growing up than I was a DC fan, like just because the characters touch more to me. But I will say that DC has taken, even though I didn't really like 52 all that much for some reasons, like there were certain characters they changed I couldn't get with. But
no one did.
And all that.
Don't say no one.
They're taking chances with their characters to move them forward. That thing with Slade and the Speed Force, ballsy. The thing with the Supermans and the Clark Kent, and like that's ballsy. And even I don't know how y'all feel about the Watchmen. Like I know to a lot of people, Watchmen is sacred. Like it's a sacred, tome of comic books. That being merged into the regular DC, continuum.
I think personally, for me, I think it's very ballsy, but it's very inventive at the same exact time. Saying like for them, even talking about Mr. Manhattan and the connection of Superman's origin and what they're gonna actually really do with it moving forward, it builds anticipation for me for something more. It's like I feel like
when the
reverse
having
to
Batman's...
No, go ahead, because the only thing for me was just like I don't know where they were gonna move forward with, instead of just shoehorning some kind of new villain in versus like this is a whole nother part that you didn't understand. The conceptualization of that, I thought that was just genius.
That was beautiful. It was beautifully done. And this is someone that loves almost anything DC puts out because I love the 52. I love New 52. I'll say it like this. I almost didn't like the end. You know, when I was reading, I think it was Flash 22. That's where the button ended. I almost didn't like it till I got to the end, and I was like, okay. Like, see, the thing is, it was a whole year's work. You gave us a whole year, and you're talking about, okay, we're about to answer all the questions in the button, right? So I'm thinking everything was going to be answered in the button. It felt short to me. It felt like, but it also felt like a super tease. So I'm like, all right, I'll give you a chance, because in September, Jeff, you're going to, if you don't answer all the questions with this event you're doing with Doomsday Clock, you can count me out. But I think they're going to do it.
I gotta say, they kind of hooked me when they did was it Reverse Flash went in and whipped Batman's ass,
bruh.
Yeah, yo, he was taking knocks left and right.
Right, and because really, any speedster should just whoop Batman's ass. There shouldn't be really a fight there, but then when it showed him just go, and they hinted at Dr. Manhattan, they kind of had me hooked, And I'm one of those people that really I was protective of Watchmen. Not that it's mine to protect. Like, I don't, like, Alan Moore don't own it. So what do I have to say about it? But I got excited, and I knew I was being. It's kind of those things when you're being played, but you like to go along for the ride.
Yes, because every issue felt short. Like, it's like something is missing, and then the next one something is missing, and then Batman 22 happened. And you saw that awesomeness with, him going into Flashpoint World, meeting his dad. And I'm like, oh, crap. Yo, this is about to be the best thing ever. And then Flash 22 happens. And you don't really end the event. You kind of tell us, okay, well, to be continued. Literally, that's what they said.
Yo, but for real, though, like, I've been drinking. So man tears, when Batman cried over his daddy. You felt it, didn't you?
I did. I'm not even going to lie. That's why I'm reading the joint. It's like people were cutting onions around me. I'm like, oh, crap. I had to tilt my head back so that joint don't roll out. Because I was on the train. Because I was on the train. So I'm not about to embarrass myself.
But, I mean, the thing about that, though, even with the button, when Thomas Wayne told him, don't be me, don't be Batman, like, that legit played like this, like, spin cycle. Because, like, was it 2 more episodes later, he sits there and, like, gets engaged with Catwoman. And I'm like, okay, this is going to bleed into this whole Dark Matter universe as well, because I think those ramifications that happen there are going to bleed into what he's going to be later. And I think
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Based off what you just said, I have a question. So you think the Forge, whatever is coming out of that event, do you think that is in like regular continuity, or is that like a thing of its own? I think it's an Elseworld, kind of like they're trying to establish the multiverse.
They've already confirmed that it is.
They're going to split it up.
They said
they're going to split it up. They're going to definitely split it up because it makes more sense. Can I say something real quick
about that Batman? Oh, after you do this,
go ahead, D. D, what were you saying?
No, I was saying that. I was saying that they're going to split it up. It definitely will. It looks like it's going to be like 2 different continuities going at the same time. That's what it looked like it's going to do.
So when I was at Awesome Condo, right, I was supposed to have an interview with Scott about it, and he's supposed to do like a phone interview later on. But what he implied when somebody asked the question, he was like, "This is a separate universe. Yes, this is a dark universe, but it still plays ramifications on this universe. So the main arc is still happening. Everything with the Watchmen is still happening." And what comes out of this whole Dark Matter universe is still going to play into what Rebirth is, which I was surprised by. I thought that Rebirth was just going to be separate, Dark Universe was going to be separate, Metal was going to be separate.
Because we're getting 5 titles or maybe 6 titles out of the Dark Matter Dark Metal event. We're getting 5 new heroes and everything coming from that event. So with all of that, I'm thinking like, is this like? My thing is, the Forge almost looked like there was a lot of regular continuity in it, but then it still looked like it was its own thing.
It's still in the same exact thing. But before we continue though, because I don't want to get off script, I want to give everybody up to the whole point of this was a meet and greet. I got CJ, I got D here, got the 3 Black Geeks here. Can you tell us about yourselves, guys? D, I think you probably be the only one because I don't hear CJ. I think you on mute.
Oh, I don't even think he here. Is he?
Yeah, he here.
I didn't know he even came on.
D, rep your set.
No, don't even look.
I'm trying to get around. I'm trying to get around that right now.
Put me on spot. Nah. Yeah, cuz we be slicing it. Nah. Nah, man. You know, just three black geeks. Ain't nothing else. You know what I'm saying?
Dang,
I don't know. I mean, what else you want me to say?
Man, look, where can the people find the Three Black Geeks? What's on the Three Black Geeks channel? What do y'all talk about, man?
Oh, God dang, yeah. Nah, man, my bad. I'm just like myself. We talk about everything. Movies. We're really lazy with the comic books lately because that's mostly on me because I haven't been reading. I haven't been reading nothing. CJ has been reading more than me. We are definitely more Power Rangers and wrestling right now.
Yes.
And, you know, besides our main just us talking about old movies or whatever comes up on the schedule. But for the most part, you know, we do pretty much everything. You know, our bread and butter is just basically old action, anime, and wrestling and Power Rangers. Man, CJ's more the Power Ranger fan. I'm not at all. He's like super into it. So, you know, that's about it.
Three Black Geeks.
Yeah, shout out to Three Black Geeks. These guys legit.
I feel like he didn't even mention they do current movie reviews.
Exactly. Like they
I mean, we do, but you know, we all do, don't we?
I mean, but no, I
mean, like we all do the same thing. We all do, don't we?
But it's really legit on a different level though, because you guys are considered as real press. Like you guys get invited out to locations to see movies nobody else can see. These guys are actually going to be able to see you guys Spider-Man Homecoming on Wednesday because they're invited to as press. So when they have like the public section and then you got the press section, they can be wherever they want to be. So,
your man Sam has a big umbrella on right now, throwing ultimate shade.
I mean, he jive like this because Sam ain't lying because usually it be just us and Sam, right? We see like all our friends and we just like Sam and like two other people. Like, all right, cool. We the big shits. All the rest of y'all niggas, y'all just got invited.
So I
don't even know how y'all got here.
So those seats, those reserved seating in the front, that's you guys?
Yeah.
In the front? No. I mean, well, usually they're pressed. You know, usually that's just all pressed.
It is.
Usually.
Yeah. Okay.
Your man.
Like, whenever I come late, I can't find a seat.
And they have insight.
Sam made it seem like D and them don't even acknowledge anybody. They just walk straight in. I'm like, oh, we didn't know you guys was here.
Okay, you want to know the truth? We don't.
It's your ID.
We have to because you can't just have two black people just walk anywhere.
They come in the back.
And it's messed up because you got like CJ, he like to hold the shit, and then you got me looking mad niggerish wherever I go. So it's like, who are these two people? And then and then there's the worst part. The worst part is you think CJ is going to be the intelligent sounding one. And here comes me. I'm like, yeah, motherfucking all this. And all of a sudden, like, really what the problem was, you didn't understand that the movie had a whole different... I like it. I love doing that.
Hey, real talk. Did you tell him about Triple X?
This man came out of nowhere.
I know.
Dramatic anime entrance.
Hey, D. This, you know what? It killed me how CJ just show up. You just hear this quiet storm ass voice to show the fuck about it.
That's Barry White. That's Barry White.
Is that Barry White?
Man of the hour.
But no, man.
I'm saying y'all got to market to the.
But lady. I love doing that. You see, it's funny because my wife said that about CJ. It's like that's the only reason y'all got female fans. They like, oh, who's that sexy sounding nigga? And then it's like you see this tall, geeky looking nigga, and it just throws them off at the same time. But here's the effed up part. This ain't. It's not a bad thing actually. This is actually the best part about it because CJ be like when girls see they like, oh, that's him.
But it's not.
Hey. Real talk.
this bean sprout ass nigga.
Nah, CJ needs to be here.
If CJ was a chill like 5'4", this wouldn't even be a discussion right now.
No, what if he was? I'm 5'9". If he was my height, this wouldn't even be a thing.
I can't.
This wouldn't even be a thing.
Oh man.
Jesus, man, Lord, man. Nah, but he's right. We be having fun at all the critic jumps because everybody wants to be serious. Everybody wants to everybody either wants to be serious and not try to talk too loud. But I think we went to was it XXX? It was at the last XXX one. We got too loud, and this white guy turned around like, "Hey guys, you ever been to a movie theater?"
That was crazy.
CJ's about to now CJ's about to flex. Now look, here's the thing: I can't fight worth shit. I really can't. So basically, like don't let my size fool you. I throw these hands for nothing. So, So I say the white boy, I just square up because the movie on, man. He just turned his ass around like, good, turn around. And I thought to myself, yo, we about to get kicked out of this shit. Come on, this. We ain't gonna be invited nowhere. That's the end of us, man.
Part of us came through. Clutch. Just saying.
I mean,
wait, CJ here?
You see, there they go the voice again. I get it.
Andy gone.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, his follower count just went up and everything. Like he pressed us for a quick 5-second tune and rolled out.
Face reveal, man.
The camera on now. That's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Hey, you guys in the DMV, right? You listen to that on the radio. That dude that does the not the morning show, the news. Like, what's his name? I know my girl hates him, but he has his voice. CJ got that radio voice.
Don't be saying a demon. No, you gonna say a demon? Or you gonna say a demon? Don't say a demon.
Hold on. Let me find out. Let me find out real quick.
I don't know who y'all talking about.
So since everybody's here and we all sitting around having laughs and giggles, let's start a debate. Let's get something going.
Cool.
Ding ding.
Cool. I'm fine.
I mean, we can start with a simple debate right now.
Transformers.
Nah, that's not even. There's no debate about that. But no, what was your best comic book movie this year and why?
Oh
man.
This
I'm about to be real honest in a second.
The year not over. That's not fair.
This is not fair.
I can't say.
I mean, you can say as of right now, what is the best comic book movie?
Yeah, as of right now.
That's what you could say.
Do we even have 5
list of movies?
have 5 comic book movies?
I mean, you got.
Yeah, we don't have 5.
You do.
Wait,
Lego Batman.
Lego Batman. Yeah.
Logan.
Guardians.
Wonder Woman.
And it was Wilson, if y'all count that.
So we got Lego Batman, Logan, Guardians, and Wonder Woman.
And Lego Batman, if that counts.
See, Lego Batman and Wonder Woman are 2 different levels of good, so I really can't say that. And
they're like apples and oranges.
No, all of them.
Yeah, it really is on that. All of them really are. It wasn't like none of them were like, terrible.
Man. Yeah. Hold on. Man, yo, why you even bring this up? Because I know for a fact some people ain't gonna like what I'm gonna put my number 1.
I know. I'm not gonna like it.
There's gonna be some people in here gonna be riding. Where'd D go? Dropped off.
Chris told him to get off.
No, he just left.
CJ was like, nah, you gotta go.
He'll be back.
So,
he probably just fell off. I'm gonna wait till D come back before I say mine. I ain't saying nothing yet.
I'm gonna say it. Fuck Logan. I like
it.
So fuck it. So
thank you.
Because
he's
gonna make a movie that's still not an X-Men movie, still not a Wolverine movie. It's a Hugh Jackman movie. So I don't really consider that a comic book movie. So no. I watched it. I liked it. But not for a comic book.
Man.
But when you say it's a Hugh Jackman movie, is any Iron Man movie not a Robert Downey Jr. movie?
Yes, it is an Iron Man movie because there are elements of Iron Man in like the reason why Robert Downey Jr. fits Iron Man is because he had elements of the Tony Stark character in him. You know what I mean? Like he embodied those characters, and then Robert Downey Jr.'s personality just fit it. Hugh Jackman embodied Wolverine a lot of ways, except for the fact that he's not a leader of an X-Men. He's
too tall,
not 5'3".
Too tall.
And the whole X-Men universe is not revolved around Wolverine.
Wait, hold on. I got a question before I answer though. Is Power Rangers and Split considered superhero movies?
Actually, you know what?
That's not a comic.
It's a comic book movie.
It's a comic book movie because they got a comic book. So boom, you know what? You're right.
Okay. Let's.
I'm pretty sure Jason Bourne has a comic book too.
Wait, what about
the reason why I call it a comic book movie is this off the strength that comic book not comic book resource. What the hell is that website? Comic book movies has it on its release date as a comic book movie.
Yeah, man, that whole site's a hot take, man. I don't take nothing they say seriously.
No, not comicbook.com, comic book movies, the legit ones.
Yeah, think about it now.
All right, cool.
Think about it this way. They launched a whole new line of comics.
Yeah, they did.
No, but they launched a whole new line of comic books just for that movie.
But when you think Power Rangers, do you think comics?
Exactly.
I don't know, man. If you got some kids that's born in the 90s, they may look at X-Men and say, "Do you think comics?"
Yeah, no, because X-Men.
But the X-Men were like legit comics.
Went to the rise.
I did not know my question would go this route.
Help themselves.
Yeah, you knew. Sam, you faking.
I mean, but I had to ask the question because I was legit. Like, I'm thinking Split in my head, and then I was going to say something else, so I needed clarification.
Let's just throw it in there.
But think about it like this. Split.
But then again, you have to think Transformers is a comic book movie. Transformers is a comic book movie.
Nah. I don't know if I can defend that one.
I was lower.
Even Michael Bay would put Transformers as his best comic book movie.
Because Generation 1 Transformer comics and G.I. Joe comics were good stories.
Yeah, the point.
I'm sorry, did you just say Generation 1 Transformers was a good... I'm sorry, Generation 1 Transformers were good stories? Really?
No. Let's put this in perspective.
I like the comics. As a kid, I haven't read them as an adult, but I might like them still.
Transformers hasn't gotten good until IDW took over for more than me.
Yeah, he's right. Yep.
Oh, is that Chris?
True.
Yep. It is Chris.
Yeah,
that's true. I gotta go.
I mean, once you got more than meets the eye, that's when that series got good. And I mean, if you want to go on the media side, Beast Wars, Prime.
Yeah,
true. Yes, animated.
That's Prime.
Yeah, animated.
All right.
Wait a minute, if that's the case,
even the Fisher Price cartoon.
Everything has a comic book, though. So
everything.
Because there's Star Wars comic books.
As a fan,
so, I mean, if you want to talk like comic book movies this year, I mean, you know, up to this point before Spider-Man: Homecoming come out, I mean, I guess you could probably say Wonder Woman. I mean,
hey Chris, when are you going to see?
I mean, I know me and D, we took the piss out of Logan because we were laughing our ass off during that screening.
Oh my gosh. I leaned into Chris and was like, "Hey, yo, if that black kid got electric,
I was gonna be alone on the Logan front." Chris, you have problems with that too?
Oh, we hated it. We kind of hated it.
Here's the thing with Logan. We didn't hate it, but it just came across like indie movie Wolverine. That's all it was.
Right? It was such a last hurrah. Like, oh, this is about to be your last movie. It didn't feel like a comic book movie. It didn't feel like Wolverine had an asthma attack right before battle, dog. Like, are you kidding me?
Like if they in there, it probably would have came across more like the Wolverine movie, like him and Sabretooth had their final fight or some shit. That would have been good. But no, Wolverine fights a younger clone to show symbolism of his younger self. He has to fight his younger self.
The thing that I really
fighting some version of himself, and also
I hated that
X at the end on his grave. Spoiler alert!
That was so
X on the end of his grave. fucking piss me off. Because
Did you say spoiler alert?
This is not an X-Men movie. This is not an X-Men universe. This is a Hugh Jackman universe.
Here's where me and D were dying laughing, right? So she puts the X on the grave, right? And me and D are already kind of low-key chuckling a little bit, like, okay, that's just pandering, like I don't know what, right? Then all of a sudden, cut to the screen, it goes to black. Logan. Me and D were dying laughing, like, no way.
We was like, that was it?
Yeah.
We was like, that was it? You gotta be kidding me.
Hey, Chris.
Also,
when are you seeing Spider-Man again?
The Age of Apocalypse movie.
I think Sam needs to know when you're going to see Spider-Man again.
No, it's like, again.
He wasn't sure when y'all was going to see it.
I mean, me and D are seeing it tomorrow, but I mean,
Wait, you already saw Spider-Man?
There's a strong overcast over to the Three Black Geeks. All right, so since we clearly didn't accomplish what everybody's favorite movie was, how about we just go what's everybody's worst comic book movie of all time?
Actually, come on. Wait, hold on. Everybody got to answer that one. Everybody got to try to answer it at least.
Did you say favorite comic book movie or favorite movie, period?
He said favorite comic book movie.
Favorite comic book movie
up until this point.
So far.
Yeah,
So far, yeah, probably Wonder Woman.
Yeah, for me, it would have to be Wonder Woman. Still, Justice League is my most anticipated movie of this year. Still,
I'm torn between Wonder Woman and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy.
I enjoyed Guardians. But I enjoyed the first one way more, and I didn't think it was better than Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman.
I didn't really like the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie to me was okay. Because all it really did was make me want to watch Serenity again. I wanted to watch Firefly and then Serenity.
Wow.
I was like, damn, you know what?
Hey, you got me there.
It's been a minute since I didn't watch the whole season of Firefly.
So wait, if you watch Firefly right now, is it in order? Because I read that it was never they never put it in order.
Watch it on Netflix. So what I would do is, so there's a lot of people that I work with, they're not sci-fi people. I wouldn't like sci-fi, so I would bet people dinner. Like, look, watch the first 4 episodes of Firefly, and if you don't want to finish it, I will buy you dinner anywhere you want. Just give me my DVDs
Bold
back.
move, sir.
That's a bold move.
You know what?
Nobody ever finished. And I was like, and I would tell them this too. I'd be like, and you will feel very sad at the end, but I'm gonna make you feel better. And they would finish the DVDs, and they would come to me and be like,
HR department.
Man, you know what show I didn't do that for?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Hey,
let's be honest.
Chill.
Don't bring it up. That's a sore spot.
Really, really thick. Like as thick as Chris's voice. So
wow.
Oh, we're gonna stay
from Firefly. I had a good one.
Well,
but then I would tell them there's a movie, and I would see the smile on their face. So I felt like
no, the movie was actually really good. I think it was a very underrated movie. So yeah.
Bo, what was your favorite movie though? What was your favorite superhero movie?
Really, Sam? Really?
Answer.
It's Wonder Woman. Straight up.
I'm trying to make sure.
I think everybody pretty much agree on Wonder Woman, but I will say a dark horse for me was Justice League Dark this year. I thought
Whoa! We add animation. Animation. I didn't know we could do that.
Wait.
It was a movie.
I actually really liked Judas Contract too.
Yeah, Judas Contract. Yeah,
I forgot.
I feel like John
if we count the animated stuff, then yeah.
No, JLD was definitely better than Judas Contract.
No, okay. Whoa.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Whoa there.
Whoever said that Justice League Dark was better, I'm on their side.
To the fact that
I'm with that.
Can't keep it up at night.
So I mean, are we adding in animated stuff?
I guess we are.
So like a 1A and 1B.
Oh yeah. So 1A.
I'm adding in Hero Academia then.
Dang! Why you had to go there?
That's manga, man. That's manga.
I'm sending this one out.
I actually love it. I actually finished it. I just finished it, bro. Oh man.
So
I'm gonna say this.
Now,
for me, it was
if Split does not count, then I'm gonna say Wonder Woman. But if we add in animated stuff, I probably say Judas Contract. Actually, I thought that was really dope, man.
Yeah.
I actually really appreciate what they did with Judas Contract.
I actually appreciate what they did with Tara, like how far they went with her. I didn't think they were gonna go
That's a
that.
good point.
They stuck with the material in that movie.
With her and Slade. That was like, are you gonna do it? And they did it. I was like,
yeah.
And when she walked in there, I was like, bruh. But they did it. I was like,
I'll admit that I'm biased because I just love John Constantine. So anything he shows up
yes,
at,
me too. So yeah,
probably
like John.
go for it.
I was so mad that that show went on NBC first of all, but I was even more mad that they canceled it.
I've never seen it. And
I mean, there was hope that he was going to come back in the Arrow universe, but
no, I don't want him to come back in the Arrow universe. I want
something's better than nothing.
Sci-fi. If Sci-Fi didn't already do the Magicians, I'd have wanted him to go on there.
You know what? You know the downside to like, you know, we're on Twitter a lot, and the downside to like a lot of feminist women that, you know, think valid points in, you know, in terms of like representation on TV. I saw a chick literally tweet out she didn't like the Magicians on how they handled rape and stuff, and I was like, okay, this is out of my depth. I'm just gonna back off on this. I don't know what to tell you.
Nope. Chris, just steal their swag bag and start a conversation.
Hey, look, I backed off. I'll watch from a distance.
No, that is.
Let me see what she's tweeting. I was like,
so I had a conversation with a therapist about how she didn't think that women's rights and images were being like progressive, and I was trying to point out, to me as a geek, the main heroine of the Star Wars universe right now is a female. The main heroine of DC universe movies right now is a female. I feel like Captain Marvel, or whatever you want to call her, she's going to be the main driving force of the Marvel movies. I think that's what's going to go.
I'm sorry. You think
because Tony Stark isn't going
to whatever. Go ahead, bro. You got it. You got it though. Go ahead. You got it though.
Busted out laughing so hard.
All right, tell me I'm wrong.
Nah, bro. I ain't saying nothing. Look, I want them to prove me wrong. I just want Marvel to prove me wrong with that. Prove me wrong. I don't think they can do it.
You don't think they can do it?
What, Miss Marvel?
Me and Chris just talked about that. Me and Chris just talked about that.
A lot of stuff about DC. I don't even want a Han Solo movie. And every time I say that, a little mouse gloved hand comes down from Florida and smacks me in my ass and says, "Shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up." Wait. So to me, I'm not gonna doubt them. But I feel like
Captain Marvel's
about the next phase of Marvel isn't going to be about Captain America. It's going to be about Iron Man. I feel like the next generation of heroes.
They're trying. The only reason why I think
Iron Fist and Inhumans are the Jesus of the MCU. They make the sacrifice for.
I dig it, son. I do not disagree with it. The only reason why I don't think Miss Marvel will work is because I think Marvel at this point is like, Marvel's like, oh snap. We really ain't got a woman to put out there. Well, let's put out She-Hulk. Nah. She's too strong. Let's put out Storm. I don't know.
They don't even have Storm to put out.
They're just pushing her.
Black Panther,
yeah, there's more
Spider-Man, and Captain Marvel will be the driving forces of the next stages of Marvel movies.
I think Kevin Feige said it even with his next, Homecoming 2, whatever they decide to call that. He did say that after Amy blindsided him. He said that coming next, the next generation of superheroes, say with Spider-Man, they're going to usher in, phase 5, I think. Whatever, after the second Avengers movie.
Whatever they say.
Yeah, whatever, because they're in, I don't know what phase they are in now. They're just, but yeah, they said they're going to usher in the next Avengers, the next generation of Avengers. So you're right on Spider-Man. I'll give you that. But they have to make people care about Captain Marvel, and that is hard to do.
And I think they already started because she's getting.
Nobody gives a shit about her in the comics.
Out and says she's the most powerful. She's going to be the most powerful Avenger on the team.
No, there's this person called Scarlet Witch that's still on that team.
Yep.
Exactly. But they can't use her.
I'm telling what they're gonna
power
put.
set because it's
And
Oh,
Scarlet Witch
this
is Jean
actually.
Grey.
Man,
Hold up.
Captain Marvel.
Scarlet Witch
Captain
is
Marvel.
Jean Grey.
Captain Marvel's on the level of a rapper that's a really, really good lyricist that can't sell a record. So that's why I don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's why I feel about Captain Marvel. Like, yeah, you got skills, but nobody's gonna buy your ish for nothing.
Right.
No.
because nobody cares about right now. Nobody cares about her in the comics. Like I'm reading Secret Empire and I'm like, oh yeah, keep that.
Oh, hold on.
Nobody cared about.
Don't bring it
Nobody
up.
cared about Iron Man.
Hold on.
No.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Everybody, hold on. Give me 1 second.
No.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. We got
Time
somebody. Time
I
out.
was reading
Time out.
comics in the 90s and the 80s. Nobody really cared about Iron Man.
But you remember there was an Iron Man show, there was an Iron Man cartoon, and then there was an Iron Man movie with the 10 rings in it. So
Season
that
1 of Iron Man's cartoon was garbage.
It
We
was.
all loved season 2 when it was like I am
okay.
Iron Man. Y'all know, in your minds right now, you was like,
Oh my God.
Great. Now
Hold up. Time out. We got somebody new here. If you guys know YouTuber Failwell34, he's here. Michael, what's good with you, bro? Shout out to you, man. You want to talk about your channel, bro? I think you're muted.
I think he is muted.
Top brother.
Muting.
Actually, Sam, you could
Click on the button with the
mute him
microphone.
yourself.
I don't even know. I can't unmute him.
You go to go over to the left to the control room thing and unmute him. Oh, he's
It's your name. I kicked the man off, man.
So when he comes back.
Besides the 90-year-old, I don't know everybody's ages. Who watched Marvel cartoons?
Okay, he's back.
I did, and he's right.
Hold on.
I did. He's right with Marvel with the Iron Man cartoon. We can act like
And Fantastic Four.
we can wax nostalgic all we want about. Oh man, we watched it all the time. No, you didn't.
Yeah, it
no,
was
you
trash.
didn't.
It
trash.
came on
It was
Sunday morning.
trash.
Trash.
Dude, I watched the Fantastic Four cartoon. I can't tell you an episode or why I watched it.
But I remember if I tell you who you know what? I'll tell you that if I said, "Oh man, remember when Morph died?"
Oh, everybody know about that. You know what? That's sad. If you put out,
you can't even do that. You can't even do that.
Remember
That's
when
not
Morph
fair.
came back?
yeah, I do.
Hey!
All right.
Remember when Spider-Man met just about everybody in the show?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So we can say, oh, I always loved Iron Man. And don't get me wrong, if you were a comic book fan, Iron Man had his place. Blade had his place. Ghost Rider had his place. But if in the 90s, in the 80s, it was Spider-Man and it was the X-Men. No one gave a fig about Iron Man. No one cared about the Fantastic Four.
What about
Nobody.
Go ahead, Sam. Sam was trying to introduce somebody. Made Iron Man.
Yo, Anthony is just going in, bro. All right, hold on 1 second.
No. I'm just saying.
No. Everything you're saying is dope. We're gonna get back to Yo, Michael, you want to?
I'm gonna get another beer. I'm gonna get another beer. I'll be back.
All right, Mike.
Yo, what a dooski, guys. It's fellow. What a dooski, man. What's good, Jonathan? Shout out to everyone here. What's good, man? Sorry, I got the invite, but I was playing squash at the gym, so I'm literally just came back. Like, hands are still.
Oh, squash,
bro. Squash is real. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I believe you. I believe you on that though.
But yeah, what's up, man? I just do like reaction videos for TV shows, movie reviews, unboxings, and stuff. And I'm also on the Hybrid Network. You guys should check that out too, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for everything you're doing, man. Your channel's growing. Like, we're definitely gonna see you at San Diego Comic-Con. So
yes, we'll link you guys, bro.
It's gonna be real. It's gonna be real dope come July 18th, man. But
have fun.
We've been talking about some of everything, but the whole point of this, Michael, is really just to kind of let everybody know who you are and like what's going on with the group, the events we got coming up, planned out. And thanks for coming, man.
Hey, man, no worries. I'm always here for you, man.
Yeah. One question I had though, low key, when Anthony was going off, it brought a question to my head. It's like, who do y'all think is gonna die
in what?
In Infinity War?
Captain America.
Because
head ass is gone.
What the reason why I asked that question is because when y'all bring up Captain Marvel, it's just way too much like you said, like they have to have somebody else to rally behind. They got Spider-Man now, but I feel like there's gonna be multiple people that are gonna die. I think Kevin Feige even kind of said it's gonna usher in a new generation of different people. So who do you guys think out of 3 different Avengers is gonna die?
3 different Avengers.
What? Like you want us to name 3 people we think gonna die?
I feel like legit 3 people at least gonna die. By the end.
No, but it's gonna be like this. Cap's gonna die. Thor's gonna go back home, and
Cap's not gonna die because
they can't. Go ahead.
He's already.
Sorry, what are we talking about now?
He's already talking about negotiating his contract to be extended.
We're talking about who's gonna die in Infinity War, Anthony.
His contract
Bring it back.
Man, you're not gonna sign a contract to not be in the movie.
They can kill you, but they can bring you back.
I don't think they're gonna kill him, but I think they're gonna find a way to retire him for a while, so they have an option to bring him back.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, I want him to die. Sorry.
Okay, so there's your bias statement.
Wow.
I gotta cut that off.
Dang, what?
You're
No,
just
I
not
don't even want to
American.
ask why. I don't want to
You're
ask
just
why.
not American.
There's no why. There's no. Okay. The reason. Okay, I'll give you a why. He has to die for. You remember when homie died in the first Avengers movie
Oh,
for them
Jesus.
to like kind of come together.
Oh, Coulson?
When Hawk yelled him back to life.
I like how
Yeah, when
television
Coulson
brought him
died.
back to life. Yes.
But when Coulson died,
Coulson.
The way they wrote it, it was like, okay, well, we're gonna write you guys to like, we're gonna write him so that when he dies, you guys come back together. You guys rally up behind him. See, I think he's gonna die, so the Avengers can rally behind him.
Good point.
So
Thor's gonna go back
I will
home.
say
They're
this.
not gonna die. They're gonna retire him that way, and you can't kill Robert Downey Jr. at this point. Robert Downey Jr. is the MCU.
And
not no more.
I don't think it has to be
I
an
disagree
Avenger
with
for somebody to die. It just has to be a main character. So you just start
like
looking
what
at
you're
big
saying
names
about
who should just
Captain
disappear.
America, because like to me, I think I said this on 3 Black Geeks channel before, is that Captain America is now this generation's Superman. How we felt about Christopher Reeves, Chris Evans is more Superman than Superman was.
I don't agree.
In the current
that's a big yes and a big no.
People don't even understand. People don't even know the differences between the Chris's out there. So if he was that big, people would know. Like nobody knows who Chris Evans is, vice versa from Chris Hemsworth and
No. What I mean is that Captain America in the MCU movies, at least for me, gives me the same feelings of I want to be a better person. I want to aspire to be a better person, like the Superman movies used to give me. So, and maybe I'm just speaking for myself. I can't speak for everybody, even though if they're, they're right. They want to agree with me. I think that if he died, it would have more of an impact than that crappy ending of Batman versus Superman, because I would feel it. I would feel it more as a loss.
How do you feel?
It would be inspiring if he died.
How do you
feel?
I
like what you're saying about the Coulson comparison to Captain America.
But how do you feel Captain America is inspirational, considering that he went against the grain in Civil War?
Why is going against the grain bad?
Because if you're talking about somebody that motivates you and sort of say in the political American stance, it's that person who follows the American traditions, the laws, and the governance that's put out there. Not the person that's going to say, I'm going to go against the Sokovian contract, and I'm going to just do my own thing because I don't think it's right. That's
sometimes, and I love how they use that comic book quote in the movie. Sometimes you have to plant your flag on the side of right, not the side that was popular, not the side of what the policy. Sometimes right is right.
Y'all going on Team Cap, Team Iron Man.
I just don't see Captain America as being an iconic figure compared to what Superman was back in the day.
So would you agree that social workers in today's climate are is a noble profession? Would you agree about that?
Of course.
Somewhat.
Okay. So
you're going a long way about it. I know what point you're trying to make, but you're going a long way about it. I know exactly where you're going
my
at.
My point is that policy in America dictated that social workers went to Native American communities, took their children to re-educate them and give them American names because they thought that would be the best choice for that community. They didn't realize the long-term effects of that, and they did what policy dictated. Does that mean they're not? Does that mean because if somebody said I'm not going to do that, does that make them wrong? Does that make them, because a law says you should do something, does that make it right? my interpretation of him going against the Accords was, do you really want somebody telling the Hawk where he can go on rampage? Do you really want a committee with their own agenda telling him what to do? I understood that.
Okay, so explain this for me then.
But that's the problem. That doesn't make. Go ahead. You got. Go ahead.
Question: what made the Sokovian Accord so bad? Like, because the movie didn't do well to explain why it was.
Neither the Civil War.
They said that
that was actually my only play too.
People need to be accountable for their actions. So they said that the superheroes basically was acting as their own governance, and the fact that that shouldn't be allowed.
In other words, y'all all seen
The
Incredibles, so y'all know what this means.
I mean, yes.
So let's say Lex Luthor becomes president. Let's say Lex Luthor becomes president, and he can tell the Justice League where to go.
I mean,
it
depends on the type of
government. I couldn't hear that.
Depends on the type of government.
But he's the president. We voted for him. I mean, we didn't vote for him, but they voted for him.
I can't hear you.
You voted the man in office. Like,
I don't know.
So what you're saying is,
I would vote Flex.
So what you're saying is, we voted this man in office, the populace voted this man in office, but because we don't agree with his policies, we are superpowered beings, so automatically we're just gonna say no, and that makes us right.
Okay.
I think
you're Dr. Manhattan. You are Dr. Manhattan. Okay. Okay. And Donald Trump says, "I need you to go to the Middle East, and I need you to pacify that country."
Actually, didn't he do that in Watchmen? Didn't he actually go to Vietnam and like pacify the country?
No, I'm asking you. Do you go?
Oh, if I
mean, you ain't got no choice. You got to do it based on what you.
No, we always have a choice.
So
no.
I'm saying
I'm also an anarchist, so don't.
No. I hear what Anthony's trying to say. That at the point that you decide this contract, at the point that you decide, all right, by law and by this contract and by on my constitutional right, I'm giving up my right to waive what I'm going to do moving forward with my powers, where I'm at all times. And with Cap, he saw all the negativity. He saw the good, where he just blindly went into the military and let them do whatever. He saw all the corruption all the way down to the point that he's like, I can't allow myself to be governed in this way because I don't know how they're going to exploit it. Now, I think that it's wrong that he decided to just do that, but at the same time, I understand what Anthony's saying.
When I'm accused of a crime, I need you to come and talk for me.
No, dead ass. Okay, you know what?
What Sam said better than I did.
I'll do it in real life. You remember? A lot of people have a problem with Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman because she served in the Israeli army. Yeah. Now, but life, you're contractually obligated to serve for 2 years. Everyone has to serve for 2 years. So I don't know what happens if you decide not to, but you serve. Does that make you a bad person because you served in that army?
No, it's not. I don't think it's the fact of being a bad person because you make your own decisions. It's the fact of when you're talking about this iconic figure of righteousness, it's typically not against the person that goes against the grain or makes their own decision. It's typically about the person who did the traditional American way of things. So in other words, for the rappers who went out there and got rich, are they bad people because they didn't go to college and get education? But how does society make them look? Like, oh, they didn't finish school, so they shouldn't be a public speaker.
Right. So I'm not gonna make this political, but you guys should really research the social engineering of 80s cartoons on certain generations. And if you look at, there were standard mandates for there to be a character that went against the grain of the group or punished or was proven wrong, to tell us, to teach us as children to conform. These are actual guidelines that children programs had to follow. I think that there's a point in time where it doesn't matter because, let me say this, I'm gonna go back. I don't want to make it political. So
Too late. Too late.
World War II.
How did we get here?
We got bombed by Japan.
I don't know.
It's Superman, Captain America, the same.
No, you know what happens? It ain't that the same thing to me. Is what happens is you had like you said, the old Superman. To me, the old Superman was a Boy Scout, like 100%. All right, children.
Yes.
Time for you to brush your teeth and say your prayers because it's time for America to rise again.
Exactly.
It was like that. That's how the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, whatever that patriotic crap was back then.
Right.
I know what you're trying to say.
Which Frank Miller addressed, which we all love in Dark Knight.
Yeah, see that, like, to me, when you say that Captain America is that, I will say this. Because that kid, and I'm watching it with my own kids, they know who Captain America is. Captain America is pretty much the embodiment of the American spirit. Superman is a freaking alien that loves everybody. He's pretty much American Goku to them. So they know the difference. Now, who's bigger in the mind? That's why I said I agree with you and I disagree with you with Captain America being the number one over Superman. That's the only thing I wanted to say. I'm actually done. I want you to continue, actually.
Hey, D, if I get in any trouble, can you make sure you speak for me?
Kinda. Don't do that to me. I'm not a lawyer. I'm terrible. Hey, yo, this nigga ain't did that shit.
Hey, that don't work for Johnny Cochran, so I know we can be good in the 2017.
Look for Johnny. Look, man, that nigga ain't good. Look at the glove. Look at the glove.
When I heard the Superman theme from the Christopher Reeve movies, I got inspired. I don't know what it was. I didn't know what the message was.
Exactly.
When I saw Superman, I felt that I should be better.
And you're right about that.
To me, even if that's not the future of Superman, my Superman will be the Superman version that makes me want to be better than humanity that does things out of fear or who is retroactive, who only reacts. Like, to me, humanity is, we won't fix a bridge till it falls down and kills people. And to me, Superman is, no, we're going to fix that bridge because it's the right thing to do, and we're going to save lives. We're going to take the fight out of the city. We're going to find, because we're better, we're going to find another way. Captain America kills, but I think he goes out of his way to try to not to kill too.
You don't like the snap,
and that could be my
Well, I'll just say this to the original question. I think Loki is going to die because Tom Hiddlesworth, Hiddleston, yes, has a lot of other things coming up, and I don't think he's on Marvel's books for much longer. So it's talking about an iconic person who's going to die. I think he will. I think that also maybe could send off Thor to make sense.
I don't know why. I think Hulk. I don't know why I think Hulk. I have no idea why I think it's Hulk. I think it's him.
Only reason why I can get behind Hulk too, because I think they still want to work out the thing with Universal to be able to do a solo movie for him.
Something like that. Exactly.
Do a real full-on.
I thought Chris Evans didn't want to do Captain America anymore, though.
Who? Chris Evans? That was the thing, but money talking. I think like a week or something.
You know how money is.
He's back on it. Sam made a good point. He's supposed to be, which makes ultimate sense, that for the Sony deal, they're supposed to be able to use one Marvel person in each movie, and they're saying Captain America should be the next person in line.
But that doesn't mean necessarily like I think he's gone. Like, I really do think I actually do want him to go. So it doesn't even matter what I have to say anymore. So
it'd be really cool to see Spider-Man hanging out with Captain.
But the thing is, your man said, if they don't kill him, I will.
no, like seriously, I'll kill him in my mind. He's going because listen, he did his.
CJ's in it twice.
All three of his movies have been final. Like, there's I don't feel like there's anything you can pull from that character for another movie. Anything.
I think that if
is a stretch.
I think if
Civil War still has stabbed an alien in the chest and said, "This aids for America, not France." So I think there's one.
Oh no! Don't do that.
No. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Even that won't happen. I think the Captain America I think that's never going to happen to Captain America, where he's just going to do some straight up American BS, where he like plants a flag in somebody's ass and like America said yes. That's never going to happen. I don't think it would. I think Disney is smart enough to know, like, look, nigga, we are making good money here. Keep it coming. Like, yo,
we will never get Ultimate Captain America, which Martin Millar really went over the top. Like, this A doesn't stand for France, and I'm like, wow, okay, Jesus Christ.
We're never going to get that. Look, you see how people reacted you see how people just reacted for Cap going to Hydra. How would you think if Cap died?
And the funny part is, Chris Evans was like, yo, I wouldn't mind doing Hydra, Cap.
Oh my gosh.
I would love it. I would actually love it. Personally, I loved it. Like when everybody started crying about it, I was like, thank you. I'm like, thank you. I'm a DC fan. I'm a DC Comics fan. So when he flipped heel, I'm like, perfect. Yeah.
Cap going.
Will never do that.
Cap going heel was literally the Hollywood Hawks heel clip we needed.
That blew up everything.
NWO, right?
Yeah, it did. It really did.
You think
you might as well.
Cap's gonna show up in Black Panther?
You thought
I think Winter Soldier will. I think Winter Soldier will, but I don't think Cap will.
Captain America power drive? You think that Captain America power drive George Washington through a table and said "F you" to America? The way people reacted, like, you can't do that. Meanwhile, I done seen 15 different versions of bad guy Superman, and nobody said anything.
Yo,
you know what you get from everybody? Hey, man.
My ass hurt. I was butt hurt.
Man, you know what I said? Hey,
let me speak.
When somebody said that, I was like, hey, yo, I know how you feel, but think of it this way. Justice Lord Superman was the shit. So you should appreciate this. You should appreciate what you're getting right now.
Injustice Superman.
Our man gets much respect.
Injustice Superman.
Injustice Superman was so good too.
Can we talk about this rumor? Oh, I don't know if it's a rumor, but how some DC is like Warner Brothers is shopping Red Sun to like different directors.
Oh man, why you gonna bring that up?
Really?
Like, why would you bring this up?
Why?
I'm an agent of chaos.
Bro,
look,
it's funny. I don't trust. I don't trust DC rumors for nothing.
Superman is. We don't know who the Superman is. Why confused?
DC rumors equal clickbaits.
Exactly.
It really do. Hey, y'all probably didn't know this, but the Wonder Woman movie is getting 5 sequels. No way! Click, 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 click.
Hey,
where's my Lobo movie? I need a Lobo movie.
Real talk. This DC rumors just need to just cease and desist. Like,
you know what? DC needs just to like pull up their pants and just be like, all right, these are what actually is happening, instead of just rumors flying around. Like,
as soon as they do that, they're gonna say, you know what? Never mind. None of that's happening right now.
Exactly. You know, we made a mistake. No. We're sorry. Sorry, that's not gonna happen.
No, I'm pretty sure they put that out.
DC's reactive. They're reactive. They're not proactive. Yeah. They're reactive.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure they put that out there as fillers to see how the internet was going to take it. And once they saw people losing their minds, they were like, no, I
don't think they would do that.
Low. That's super low for a big company.
Yeah, I really feel like somebody petitioned that and said like this was maybe a conceptual idea, and somebody jumped the gun with it, and their PR team is terrible.
It was
like there's nobody up there screening or panning like what Disney and Marvel are doing. When something kind of blows up, like when they did with Rogue One, talking about those reshoots, that junk got swept under the rug like a mug. And then when Rogue One came out, nobody was stressing about that. When the little stuff started happening with DC, their PR team don't jump on it and be like, okay, this is this. They don't say nothing.
But they've been good this year though.
But me and you, Sam, me and you saw it firsthand. I've seen
we did
Marvel. there's a reason why stuff doesn't get leaked on Hall H. They literally have like Secret Service and the FBI watching you. Like,
that joint was tight. It was airtight, y'all. It was crazy.
With rumors, it's like, yo, Disney will let the rumors go as far as they want to, and then they'll immediately like put the kibosh on that shit.
Erase it. Like it'll never happen.
Can we all agree? But can we all agree that we enjoyed the new hot Aunt May?
I mean, I ain't seen her yet.
I
ain't trying to be a salty nigga, but I ain't seen this yet.
Look,
That man,
Rosemary Harris, I feel like she's like the definitive Aunt May. Sally Field, she didn't have like the Aunt May character in her, but Marissa Tomei, I guess we could say like, yeah, she's a hottie Aunt May for sure.
Yo, Sal, what is that?
Make Aunt May great again.
Huh? What?
You're a Geico?
Yeah, it was at Awesome Con. They had me pose for Geico.
Lucas.
I mean,
Is this guy driving while talking?
Yes. Yes, I am, Sam. Yes, I'm driving.
Lucas, I hear you got them Spider-Man tickets.
Hey, everybody sounds pixelated.
not me.
It's not the alcohol saying that.
Lucas,
But
they don't
everybody's not a
matter. I hear
pixelated.
you have them
Pixelated
Spider-Man
is not a word. Pixelated.
Oh, yo, Sam.
I can't figure it out.
You might as well turn on that Uber app while you at it right now.
Wait, what'd you say, Mike?
Yo, thanks for sending those tickets. I like the link.
Oh yeah, you're welcome, man. Like I saw yours available for Toronto. I was like, man, this dude got to jump on that.
It's weird though. You just have to email them and then maybe they'll send it back to you, right?
Yeah, all you got to do is send the email. I sent the same thing to you, Jonathan. Like for you in New York. Did you sign up?
I didn't. I'm like, I didn't fill nothing out. I'm like, how am I getting like?
Lucas,
Yep,
I hear
I know
ticket.
Let's see, Lucas Moore joined. Lucas, what's up, man?
What's going on, dude?
Hey, man. So this is just a meet and greet, man. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are as a movie critic, the official movie critic who has seen every movie?
I am the best movie critic at this.
Because he hates everything.
Just about, not everything though. You know, for someone who sees about 100 to 150 movies a year, I make like 25 to 30 of them. That's not too bad.
150? Dude, why do you even go?
But Lucas, what about the Spider-Man tickets though?
Oh my God.
I have Spider-Man tickets.
This man Sam
I have
gonna
four
go in
Spider-Man
a second.
Tickets.
Yeah.
Think about where Sam go.
Exactly. Sam about to stab whoever asks me about them Spider-Man tickets, Joe.
Hey, if y'all keep asking about them Spider-Man tickets,
Hey,
like if I hear about them Spider-Man,
I had to legit make a hard decision if I wanted to see Spider-Man or Atomic Blonde, because I know how Spider-Man's gonna work out. It's a Marvel movie.
you're right. You might as well just throw him away. You don't even need him.
Low key, I was getting worried for Spider-Man, but apparently it's good. People are saying, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't trust people because every Marvel movie by the people gets awesome reviews. I ain't got time for that shit.
You're
It's
right.
like they
Atomic
remade
Blonde over Spider-Man?
Atomic Blonde looks tight.
they have remade Iron Man 1 in every Marvel movie that starts off. All of them are Iron Man 1. It's that let's see what we got to do. We got to struggle to make it. Then a villain comes up who's actually not good enough to beat you, but you make it look like he's good enough to beat you. Magically, you win. You get the girl in the end, and then you get a sequel with absolutely nothing that makes any sense.
I mean,
Spider-Man's supposed to get the girl.
if you're gonna keep it a buck, I always sat there and said that there is no bad MCU movie. There's mediocre ones.
It's a lot of mediocre ones.
But there's no legit.
Guardian of the Galaxy 1.
But there's no legit like.
What?
Bad.
Anthony, you should be bad. Was you saying Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is bad? You know what?
Thor
You know what?
I said
I'm cussing
mediocre.
on me.
I would say the worst was probably Thor 2.
I'm just gonna cuss a black person
Cap
for saying that shit.
Iron Man 3, terrible.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3, I didn't like. Can't even.
Honestly, I
Iron
thought
Man 3 was
Doctor Strange is mediocre.
Iron Man 3 was
I'll
bad.
fight you guys.
Yes.
I'm throwing
Doctor
hands
Strange
that says Iron Man 3 is bad. That's all I'm saying.
Iron Man 3 was cool.
Thor 2 were
I like
bad.
Iron Man 3 actually.
Iron Man 3 was almost the reason why I stopped buying DVDs. Real talk. I was just like,
Damn.
Every Thor movie is bad. Every Thor movie is bad.
That's why.
Doctor Strange
Doctor
Strange was a piece of shit. Like Doctor Strange was fucking hard. I fell asleep 30 minutes into Doctor Strange because after seeing a 15-minute preview of it, it showed everything I needed to see.
I ain't gonna fake. When he crashed his car, I was a little bit like, huh? Like, come on, dude. You got this like $200,000 car. You do this for a living, and you know you got the technology sitting there, and all of a sudden, this is the one time you decide to take your eyes off the road. Like you've been down this road a billion times.
But you know what? I forgive Doctor Strange.
I don't know how he survived. He should have died.
Hasn't seen that stuff. They haven't seen that H.P. Lovecraft altered dimension, like humans are insignificant type of thing.
Nobody care about that shit. Nobody care about this shit.
I see why the general public loves it.
No, you will not make an excuse for that horrible woman, that white woman who was an ancient one, who didn't know more than Doctor Strange. How the fuck is that humanly possible?
Well, you know.
You're right. Everybody was scared to go read the book. He went in that joint off like the first week.
Yo, but Transformers 5 was the best movie of the year, right?
Wait, what?
What? Say it again. Did you say Moonlight? Because if you didn't say Moonlight, nothing else matters.
Yeah, Transformers 5, bro. It's good as Moonlight. It's like the best movie of the year.
Are you serious?
You know what?
That comment was sponsored by Michael Bay himself.
You know what?
I venture to say Get Out is probably best movie of the year so far. True.
No, not a chance.
Wait.
Not a chance.
Lucas, you seen that movie Big? What was it? Big Stick?
Yeah, you saw Big Stick.
The Big Stick is dope. The Big Six is the best. The Big Stick is the best movie of the year.
Big Stick. Okay, yeah.
The Big Stick, not the Big Stick, because that's a completely different movie. But the Big Stick is the best movie of the year.
Okay.
Get Out was the movie that's gonna make you say nigga the most. Like when I was saying, I think I may have offended a couple of white people.
Gonna make you
unfortunately, because I did not mean to do it.
I'm trying to think of the movies that came out this year. I'm looking through all the ones I've seen. I'm trying to see which was good.
Hey, off my top, it was the Big Sick. I think I had Logan number 2. Raw was either number 3 or number 4. It Comes at Night, I think, was number 5. I'm trying to remember. I'm missing a movie in between.
That's how you had it. I remember.
So Beguiled was pretty okay. Split, I didn't even have him. Split might not even. It was in my top 10, but definitely not in my top 5. It had enough flaws in it where it couldn't be in my top 5.
Yeah, Michael raised a good point though. Like, have y'all seen Your Name, the anime Your Name yet?
No, I don't watch cartoons. That's not
Yo, man said, I do not watch cartoons.
I kind of phased out a little bit. Who said Your Name?
I can't do it. If it's not made by Pixar, I can't watch it.
Bro, I'm telling you, this was literally one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life, bro.
See, I'm trying not to say something like Anthony would know, but it's something I'm trying not to say, but it's, you know what? I don't do Asian cartoons. That's what it is. I don't do them. I can't.
Wow.
Lucas. I don't like the
I watched it with my mom. She said the same thing, but she liked it. It's fair enough, bro. Some people just, they don't fucks with it.
Yeah, I can't do. I tried so hard.
No, allow him, bro. What do you mean? If you don't fuck with it, you don't fuck with it. But I'll tell you right now, from a music point, from a story standpoint, the cinematography, like everything about that movie was so fucking great. It was unbelievably good.
What's it called?
Your Name, and I've heard that about Your Name. That is one of the best movies of the year. But it's gonna take for when we get to the end of the year. I tend to watch anything that's nominated for any of the major awards, so I don't miss anything. So if it does get something, then I'm gonna have to watch it. But man, I don't want to.
When did it get released?
It was nominated last year for Best Animated Movie.
Oh, then I'm never gonna watch it. Oh, I'm never gonna watch it then. It was last year. I had to leave 2016 alone. I don't go backwards. I don't go backwards.
It got released in North America in January.
All right, so
I gave him the 2016
like
movie.
3 hard rules, and he's not gonna break them. It's no point.
Yeah.
Oh, Monster Calls was one of the best of the year too.
Which one?
What's I'm looking right now? Monster Calls.
Oh, Monster Calls is amazing.
Yeah,
that's a fucking amazing movie. But again, I saw that in 2016. So because it came out in 2016.
Yeah, they're fucking around, man.
It's 2017. I can't watch it. It came out in 2016.
I'm gonna need y'all to post this on the page.
I'm writing it down right now. Like all the best ones I've seen this year.
Yeah.
How do we get here?
Oh, Live by Night was shit.
Live by Night is fucking
dope.
To be honest. Hey, you know what?
Dope.
They lied to me and told me Live by Night was good, I watched that piece of shit for like 40 minutes, mad as a motherfucker.
No, bro, it was
Like,
so bad.
That movie is so fucking bad. Like it couldn't have been worse if Johnny Depp was in it instead of Ben Affleck. Like it couldn't have been worse. It's humanly impossible.
His life.
Hey, he poured his heart into that
project.
He poured his heart into that.
Hey, all they needed was a rapper in there, and that's the only way it could be worse.
All
That's
they needed
it.
was comment. All they needed was comment. It was a rap.
Thank you. No bull. He almost single-handedly ruined John Wick 2 for me. So yes, all they did need was comment, and it would have been like the worst piece of shit of the last 2 years.
Common ruined it for you?
Did you see his performance? Like when they were
the same performance he plays all the time.
After they fight,
dude, that movie.
I thought Common was bearable in that movie.
Hold on, back up. That movie that Common was in with Liam Neeson, that was his probably worst action performance. His in John Wick 2 was like way better.
Yeah, it was
way better.
But like we're judging that on a Common scale.
John Wick.
So like way better. It's not
that
good. It's just way better than what you used to see.
It's a movie with all the freaking damn assassins and stuff. Him in that movie, he was better in that movie than he was. Come on.
Here you go. Mark Wahlberg,
what was the
Oscar caliber in Transformers 5 over what Common did in John Wick 2.
Dude,
you know what I need
Mark
to remake
Wahlberg is like Oscar caliber and Four Brothers over anybody. Come on now, dog. Come on.
I like Four Brothers.
Yeah, Four Brothers
Has
is a
anybody
great
seen
movie.
the Christopher Lambert movie and the
Wait.
Ice-T movie where they're all stuck in a prison
Yes.
or whatever?
Yep. It's not a prison. That's the Assassins movie. We all them together. That one when Ice Cube was running everything.
Oh my
That's
god.
a good movie.
Okay, all right, hold on. I don't even know how we got here. Jonathan,
I'm wondering the same thing. How the heck did we get here?
You added Lucas and you added.
Hold up. I just got one thing to say because Chris brought it up with Four Brothers. The only part of that movie that's any good is when Victor Sweet's in the snow and he said, "Who gonna take on the champ?" And you see Mark Wahlberg ass walking in a leather trench coat, and you're like, "Oh, this nigga about to whoop his motherfucking ass." But that's it. Other than that, you can skip the whole rest of the movie.
You eat with him.
Oh yeah, because that was so disrespectful. I really did enjoy that. I really did enjoy that.
So this is the guy to get us back on Kelton. We all got different personalities. You can see everybody. Like we've been doing this one for about maybe like an hour and a half. So to kind of close this out, what is your favorite action movie of all time? I mean, I asked that question because this is the 25th anniversary for Face Off. And Face Off has always been one of my favorite action movies. But I'm just curious, what is your favorite action movie?
Face Off though?
I love Face Off.
If I had to really put one out there and stuff, and it is very kind of a recent-ish movie and stuff, I'm gonna have to say The Raid.
Damn it! I wanted to say The Raid. Hold on.
It's a toss-up between The Raid and Raid 2. If I had to really put it up there, it's a toss-up between those two.
Oh man, Raid 2 was amazing.
Battle Royale.
Favorite action movie? My gosh. Shoot.
Battle Royale.
Hard Boiled. Cause that joke fucking dope.
That was dope. That was a good movie.
Oh, so dope. That could be my favorite action movie.
Mine is going to have to be Immortals.
You know what? Fuck you. Hold up. My bad. Which Immortals? Because we're not talking about the movie with
Henry Cavill.
Emo Superman, are we? We're not talking about that.
No.
Okay.
You're talking about the Asian one, right?
No. The one with the Greek gods and mythology.
Damn it! That is the one with Emo Superman. What the hell is your problem? God damn it!
You could have said T2. You could have said.
Bye, Lucas. See that? Oh, I thought you got
something. No, nigga, you don't get to pick any more movies.
First of all, the reason why it's an action movie, I didn't care about the plot. I thought the effects and Michael, what's his name, Puyos, does amazing effects, and I thought it was a great action scene. I thought the character, costumes, and I thought the Greek mythology being. What am I trying to say? The adaptations of them was correct. So overall, I mean,
you thought Greek mythology was correct in that movie?
Huh?
You thought Greek mythology was correct in that movie?
Yeah, I mean, everything pretty much followed the storyline.
You know what? I can't hate on you because it's a stupid movie, but you had a legitimate reason for liking it. I'm not even gonna hate. It's a bad movie. It's a bad movie.
First of all, just like that movie what was it called? God of War or whatever movie where
Gods of Egypt.
Gods of Egypt. Again, that's a movie every single person in this room.
You like that movie?
No, every single person in here went to see that movie. Ain't one person go out there and say like this movie was great, but ain't nobody say like the action or the effects was good.
Hey, I didn't pay to see Transformers 4.5. I just went to go see it. That's completely different.
Transformers 5 was so
no,
I will not.
I mean, they both were just commercials. So I mean, what
that movie progressively gets worse. Like I thought for a second, I'm like, oh, maybe it's gonna, but no, it gets stupider and stupider. I just can't. It pisses me off when I think about it.
All right, let's be honest. The original '80s Transformers cartoon was a toy commercial.
Okay.
But it made you feel something. It made you who the
me
and you, we talked about this.
Feel what? The money coming out of my parents' pockets in it?
You felt something.
Yeah. Guess what? When Optimus got killed, I laughed. You want to know why? Because I was a soulless kid. All right, jeez.
Wow. Oh my gosh!
First, you supposed to tell people that you felt stuff.
You will not drag me on this. The fact is that '86 movie, as much as we put nostalgia, it's only better than Bay's movie because it followed the basis of selling a toy. But let's be real about this. After Optimus died, and I said it on our show, after Optimus died, nobody remembers nothing about that movie until the very end when Rodimus Prime got that thing. Nobody remembers the middle of that movie. Nobody remembers the middle of that.
To be stupid.
No, nobody remembers the middle of that movie. That's why I'm like, you're looking at Bay's movies. It's like Bay's movies aren't. Well, the second Revenge of the Fallen is legit bad. Let's get that shit out the fucking way right now.
Man,
all the Transformers. Hey, Chris,
that movie's bad.
Chris.
I feel like everyone who's seen Transformers after the second one, I have to clap for all of you because since Megan Fox left, it's been trash. What I've seen, because I haven't seen.
I have never surpassed.
No, I believe
when she was there, it was trash, fam.
I have no clue.
Here's the kicker: the third movie. If you read a dead series, I actually browsed through the novel of it. The novel of the third movie, narratively, is better. It's narratively better than what they put out in the movie. And I'm like, how is that possible that the book did something narratively better than the movie? Whatever. Then I watched the fourth movie and I was like, hey, Marky Mark's here.
I haven't seen the third.
Look, I don't know who said it, but whoever said the Megan Fox thing, the Transformers has never peaked beyond the Megan Fox checking Bumblebee's engine.
Seriously, like
I'm about to watch that right now.
Right. That Megan Fox comment was by far the most bizarre thing said today.
But I don't see how you can but see, here's the thing. I don't know how you can like the first movie when you could barely see who was fighting who in the first movie. Meanwhile, every sequel, you could figure out who's fighting who. That's all I'm saying.
I was watching Megan Fox.
So true. You know,
I was watching Megan Fox, so it doesn't even matter.
No, but it don't matter though.
All I could see in the movie was Megan Fox.
I didn't care for Megan Fox.
Everybody says
I just watched because it's Transformers, for Pete's sake.
No, but everybody says Bay doesn't learn. I would say this: on the action front, he does improve. But the problem is he needs better writers, which he has not gotten since the second.
Wait. If I may ask you, then that it sounds like you might have liked Ninja Turtles.
No, I like I like Ninja Turtles too. That first one was not that good.
Ninja Turtles. I actually liked them. I loved that.
I saw them both, but they were both trash.
There's a lot of Megan Fox in there for you.
The second one,
that's exactly why I went. Like now you understand my points.
Dude, the second one,
man, look. Hey, what y'all? Hey,
all right.
Hey, what y'all not going to do? Y'all not going to jump my boy CJ because he's going to defend Bay. I can't do that. That's my job. Getting on him about some stupid. Really, man? Why you keep defending Bay? Let go. Just say Bad Boys 2. That's all you need to say to everybody. Just say Bad Boys 2.
That's it. Or
like what do you like Transformers? Bad Boys 2. What do you like that Transformers? Bad Boys 2. What do you like that? Bad Boys 2. That's all you need to say. Because anything else you say, somebody is going to say Shia, bad writing, racist writing. We're going to mention every stupid thing in those Bay movies, man. All you need to say, Bad Boy Sue was shit. That's all you need to say.
Really, everybody, producer. Like, has anyone seen Black Sails?
Megan Fox scene, it still holds up.
Now I will say this
in Transformers 1, where she's fixing the car.
Yes, it still holds up.
Oh my gosh, the best thing about that movie.
Boo. If I can say anything though, I do agree with Chris though. I do think Bay is good at shooting action. Do I think he gotten better? That's neither here or there for me to say because I really don't care for Bay a lot. But I will say this: he knows what he's good at. That's the only thing he's good at. The thing about it, he's much like Zack Snyder. You can paint me a good picture. You can't tell me what the hell is it about.
All right, well,
my favorite action movie.
What's your favorite action movie?
So what's everybody's favorite action movie?
My favorite action movie yet.
Mission Impossible 1. And my one still like the best thing out of the series.
What?
Here we go. What do you not like about Mission Impossible, the first one?
I parked my car for like 5 minutes and then back to fuckery. Mission Impossible.
That was a safe old man selection right there.
Mission Impossible. But you know what?
There's so many action movies that make no sense that people could like.
Oh, yo, my favorite action movies from the 80s.
What about Drunken Master?
What about
the second one?
Hard Target. Jean-Claude movie, really good action movie that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it wouldn't even be far fetched if somebody said Expendables 1 was one of their favorite action movies because it was just straight brutal action, but it was stupid.
You know what? I respect.
Or the last Rambo 5.
Yeah, Rambo 5 was crazy. Rambo 5 was crazy.
Look, they just had lumpy spaghetti at some scenes.
You right. Hey, I will say this.
No, but we are talking about action movies, right? Not necessarily how sense they make. No, those 40, it doesn't have to make sense.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Those 40 cows in Rambo said everybody's gonna learn today.
Yo,
everybody.
See,
I'm telling you right now, my favorite action movie has got to be Commando. That shit is fucking amazing.
You can get that.
Commando's the ish. Commando will always be good. Because it's
what
stupid.
about Aliens 2?
And it knows it's stupid.
Aliens 2 is
stupid and it knows it's stupid.
Just stupid.
Aliens 2 is only good for step away from her, you bitch. That is like, I'm good after that.
I really feel like in this day and age,
but that's what Marines versus aliens, and they haven't been back to that. Space Marines versus aliens, they haven't been back to that since.
I really feel like in this day and age, for you to really respect the action movie, it gotta at least look good, and depending on the type of fighting or style, the choreography has to support it too. Like Creed right now could be somebody's favorite action movie because the boxing in it was so legit.
Wait, did any of y'all mention the Matrix?
Maze Runner?
Why would we mention the Matrix, man?
Oh, bro, I think you said the Maze Runner. I was about to smack you, bro. Like, what is this nonsense up here?
The Maze Runner. Damn, man.
The Matrix is up there in terms of action movies. Yeah. Matrix is up there.
Yeah, The Matrix.
Shoot. Anything after The Matrix is not you. Forget the last two happened.
The Matrix.
What about John Wick or the sequel?
John Wick in general. John Wick in general is like the best action movie, period. But that's on the same level as Expendables to me, where you just like it because it's stupid. Like like it because it's stupid, but you like.
It's not as stupid as Expendables.
No, I meant that on the level of
like
it
stupidity.
Just came out. No, not stupidity. It just came out.
Stupid action?
No, it just came out.
Okay.
It just came out, and it's like it's fresh on everybody's mind. So of course you want to say that's the best one,
Yeah.
But real talk, no, John Wick and John Wick 2 are like some of the best action movies I've ever seen. Besides Commando,
did you punch my son?
Satisfaction.
Overall, when you talk about action and good movie at all, like Kingsman has to be at the top of the list.
I think Kingsman is overrated. I think Kingsman is overrated. I like Kingsman, but I think it's overrated.
You think?
I think it's
I think it's
overrated.
underrated because you have
But
Colin
Kingsman
Firth.
has something no other action movie had. It had anal.
Wow.
Well, hold up. No, hold up, guys. Hold up. Hold up, guys. Commando was actually the first movie to even say anything close to anal because Bennett, that whole movie sounded like he wanted to stalk John Matrix's butt the whole time. So I'm gonna get you, John. I'm gonna get you in the corner, John. I'm gonna get you. Like, nigga.
And that's beside the fact that Bennett, on top of that, it's like, let me get this right. So Matrix is the only one between the two that clearly has been in shape, and Bennett just been basically just drinking creatine and not working out.
Just got to adding much like Isaac Hayes, he was adding loops to those to that chainmail because he's getting fatter.
It's like, John, I got this knife. You like my chainmail?
You like how long this knife is, John? It's like, hey, look, dude. What happened in Vietnam stays in Vietnam, cuz. You can't be bringing this up, man, around my daughter, cuz.
Then you got Dan Hedaya literally whispering sweet nothings in his ear like, Valverde.
Wait.
I love how Dan Hedaya had an army of no-name Spanish fighters at the ready.
I mean, if we dropping names, can I drop Evil Dead 2? I mean,
Evil Dead 2 is fun.
Love?
Comedy.
Evil Dead 2 is so much fun. Evil Dead 2 is so much fun, man.
Yeah.
It's a nice little comedy, though. Really nice comedy.
I wouldn't say action, but it is like horror comedy. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Wait, do we have a topic?
Yo, it's a great calendar.
Or True Lies, or T2, or any bad movie with the
I'll say like a Red Brown movie and fuck all y'all heads up. So I can't even say.
All right, but yeah,
don't
I never got to
me.
say all my favorite movies, favorite action movies. I think for me, I know I'm getting a lot of backlash for this. It's between The Winter Soldier and Fast Five.
Wow,
yeah,
dude.
you're definitely gonna get
So let me get this straight. Hold up.
I won't knock you on Winter Soldier. I won't knock you on Winter Soldier, right? I won't knock you on Winter Soldier because
Why?
Hey, CJ, Stan Lee's not in the room, dog. You can't.
No. See, I'm switching reverse here. See, I'm not gonna knock you for Winter Soldier because I like that movie mainly because one, we finally see Cap do hand-to-hand shit instead of just punch and kick and that's it. And two, it was top notch. Now, Fast Five, pump your brakes, and I love Fast Five. Pump your brakes on that one. All right.
Wait. Let me get this straight. So you gotta pump your brakes.
And you know what? We can't even give him shit because movies don't have to make sense. So like Fast Five.
Look. This is the same series. This is the same series where The Rock took out a drone with an ambulance and he took the machine gun off of it.
Oh my God!
Oh,
He did.
Look,
I forgot about that.
About Fast 4 was the ending with the cars parting ways. The rest of that movie was garbage. It was garbage.
Six? You mean six?
That was six.
That was six.
Nah.
Hey. Seven. My bad. Seven. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, yeah, seven.
Hey, and six when the tank.
So the Fate of Furious is what? Was that 7?
No, 8.
Fate of Furious is
7. 7 was when they split off. Yeah, 7 was when they split off at the end.
All right, so 7 was the one where Paul Walker's last performance. Right?
Yeah. That's the one with The Rock taking out the drone with the
Was
ambulance.
the ending drive-off scene.
That's it? Wow. That's all you got?
That's it.
Wow.
Oh, you didn't, like I said again, you didn't like The Rock.
Wait. So you just like CJ?
Fate of the Furious? Oh, I'm all about family. You killed Han like 2 months ago, but I'm just man. Be like, it's all good, man. We're family now.
Yo, he ain't lying, man. A lot of us
he ain't lying. He's not lying.
He has a point. Screen in 20 years. No, he don't matter.
Dude, a lot of us in that theater were like, so let me get this right. Like you said, you just killed Han like 2 weeks ago.
And you bring him back.
Yo, here's the funny part, right? Rock and Statham in that movie for about a smooth 20 minutes were beefing, And then after the initial thing with Vin Diesel wrecking them in New York, they had a beer and was like, let's be bygones, be bygones.
Hey, man.
You know, we're good, right? We're good. All right. We're
Hey
good.
man, look, man, you can't keep that beef up, bro. You can't keep that beef up.
No. But how about the plan? The Vin Diesel plan, where he went to go talk to homie's mother. Yeah, you know what? If we're going to talk about the ridiculousness of the Fast movies, shoot.
Okay, no, you want to talk ridiculousness? How about we go from how the series started out from street racing to vehicle combat?
Here's where I get you at.
Yo, I like the first Fast and the Furious movie. I like the first.
Here's where I get you at.
That's a good movie to me.
And D will co-sign with me on this one. I said
no, I won't. Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that, baby.
No. Here's where the series went off rails. I told D this, right? He agreed with me on this. As soon as Paul Walker double nosed over Michael Ealy's car in Too Fast, that's
it was over. It was over the second that happened. I don't know why all you motherfuckers are complaining. The second he hit that nos and went over Michael Ealy, here's me. All right, so the script just left the room, and we're not even caring about. Reality left, y'all. Reality has left. Reality has left.
Oh my God!
Building. Come on, even the scene that we all love, by physics doesn't make no sense. Ejectocito, cuz don't make no sense. Really, when you sit down and think about it, Ejectocito is another scene that's like, hey y'all, look, reality doesn't even exist no more. This is a movie at this point,
man.
But it doesn't for the Fast movies. I think all of them are a joke, and everybody knows it at this point.
Exactly. They all are a joke.
Even Tokyo Drift? Tokyo Drift is a joke?
Vin Diesel is freaking fireproof, bro.
Tokyo Drift, a.k.a. American Initial D. All right, I'm with you.
Exactly. I like how the white boy got over the Yakuza. I like how the white boy scooted off the Yakuza. I'm like, yo, are you serious?
Hold on, D. It was Sony Chiba he got over. All right, let's correct that.
No. His white privilege got him to scoot around the doggone Yakuza. Son, that is some. Look, real talk. We all brothers up here. That's some deep shit. How a white dude gets over on the Yakuza. Oh my God. That's some deep shit.
Top of the white dog. Top of the white.
We gotta cut it. We gotta go. We gotta cut it. All right. No, Keith, for real. I actually was a dick. We gotta leave. This was amazing, whatever the heck this really was. This is initially supposed to just be an introductory so you guys know who the group is, who, you know what I'm saying, the Potter Tube Journals is. The conversation you guys heard live is what we do literally every day on the chat. So the notification chats just be going through, we be having
blowing up
all the time. So to be more productive, now I think that what we could do is really kind of like maybe once a month or twice a month, maybe kind of just get together and really kind of just riff on this, because no matter what, we all going to be actually going to different screenings, having different discussions, doing stuff for our channels and our podcast. Right. We just want to get you guys acclimated to who we are personality together, which is explosive. We should have named our group Explosive because we're that crazy. We're about to dip everybody. Hopefully y'all enjoyed whatever the heck this was.
Rambling piece
and Tube Journals. We're out, everybody.
We had to give them for their rants.
Oh my gosh. We're going off.